I experience more love in 2018 than ever before. The love I have has integrity. People connect with the best side of me. I am honest in my love relationships. In 2018, I am surrounded by love. I trust healthy love circumstances. In 2018, I am surrounded by love. The love I experience is honest. My world is filled with more love and joy in 2018. Good people love me. I feel extremely confident that I will find the love I desire in 2018. I feel love in every fiber of my being. This year, love is guaranteed. I give love freely. I know how to recognize when people are open to giving me love. I bring love into my life. I gravitate towards people who will love and support me in 2018. I trust myself in my love relationships. I deserve love. was a magnet for me in 2018. Back to me in great ways. I deserve love. People love who I am in 2018. The love I experience is honest. Hi everybody, and thank you for watching the positive affirmation session. That was a 10-minute sample of a longer track that you guys can get in a couple different places. If you want to watch the full video, which is 30 minutes long, you can get the 2018 Love Activation Kit. However, if you are interested in just doing the MP3, you can get that on my Bandcamp account, which is my music store, and that's all linked in the About section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful start to the year, and yeah, thanks again. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Hi everybody, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. I'm doing a very special reading for you guys. It's a daily tarot talk and I'm stoked to be here. Actually, I'm filming this as like a surprise. Oh, this is, I guess, our drum celebration because we got the drum. It's coming in. Thank you for everybody who sponsored me and sponsored this whole little weekend thing that we did. It turned out really great. Everybody had fun. There's a lot of requests to do it again, so I'll probably drop it on you again in the future, so stay tuned for that. I might make it into a contest. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to make it into a contest. You know, it's just a little bit of a celebration, a little bit of fun, and yeah, thank you for all the sponsors. So this is your kind of celebration, happy tarot talk, daily tarot talk reading for the time period of the first week of December. Let's look at that. I don't know, whenever you're watching is fine. Let's call this a timeless one, first week of December, whatever. And we filmed this actually as a part of doing those readings we did over the weekend, but I saved this, and everyone who was watching with us, who was hanging out, said, come on, post this to the main channel. So that's thanks to everyone. For you guys, it's here. So hey girl, hey. Okay, so I picked all these cards in front of the camera. I have witnesses. It was all witnessed. So, and a nice Scorpio told me to pick these 3 bonus cards, so you guys can pick a card with that if you want. So 1, 2, 3 cards, and you can figure out exactly, you can think about like, this is Bobby, this is Andy, and this is Scott, whatever. So like just have your moment and pick a card, and yeah, hashtag legit for sure. Okay, so let's pick a card from the center. Your core energy. Ooh, unconditional love. You guys haven't seen this card yet. So I feel like this is going to be a good one, folks. I feel like this is going to be a really good one. So I'm going to settle myself down. If you guys don't understand, I've been filming for about 2 hours with the individual readings of the people who sponsored, and we're just finishing up, and I'm filming this daily tarot talk for everybody to see. So I'm like super hype and super energetic, which I always get when I'm doing a reading for you guys. So unconditional love. I feel as though it's a heart-based connection to do with mother energy, to do with full love energy, but it's also kind of romantic, and it kind of has to do with like love. It has to do with like romantic love, openness, transmutating love through the crown, through Keter, into reality, and expressing that for other people as much as you and then thereby receiving it as well. So I'm kind of taking a look at the astrology, but this is kind of my new spread, and I'm stoked to have it for you guys. I did this in 2015, but we added these 2 cards, and now it's perfect. So I'm excited to do it for you, and you guys have been seeing this. This is the position of water, which coincidentally is Scorpio, so the death card here is freaky. But the death card is ruled by Scorpio, and this is Venus moving into Scorpio in the first week of December, right? We have that energy. I can actually show you the chart, I just realized. So there's Venus in Scorpio right there with Ceres. This is like a deep desire to change. A deep desire to change, transform, and go in a different direction. And I feel as though that direction has a lot to do with not allowing yourself to experience love on some level, and now allowing that to come into your life. Here is your next card. We have the Strength card, and this is wild. I'll show you guys again. The Strength card is ruled by Leo, and by the way, coincidentally, in a standard chart, the 5th house, which corresponds to this position, is Leo. So boom, we're bang on. So I think that this is suggesting that whatever you're leaving behind, or whatever you're stepping away from, has had a level of closure and balance that needed a perfect ending or conclusion to a situation. So something is perfectly complete, or something is perfectly done, maybe in a relationship, but most notably probably within yourself. So you've answered a question about yourself, maybe you've reconciled maybe some relationship things about desire, about endings, transformation, also raw sexuality. Okay, the next card is we have the Fool, a new beginning. Now this corresponds to the earth sign. So financially and physically, you're stepping forward in a new direction. Please notice that we have all trumps on the table so far. And I did shuffle and all of that. It's witnessed. Here is the next message. We have the Moon. Bang on. And this corresponds with the air signs. So I feel like there is a secret still that is before you that has to do with friendship, that has to do with I feel like someone who you trusted wasn't so trustworthy. Lilith is in Aquarius right now, and this is something that you may on some level be aware of already. However, I feel like you're waiting on a confirmation of certain things still. So it's like you can't call out your friend until you have proof, but you kind of already know what's going on. This is a really powerful spread, all higher arcana. I feel like you're already setting forward independently, and you're dislodging yourself from an attachment to shared resources with other people and kind of going your own way. You could be quitting something, you could be starting your own business and letting go of a job. I feel like there's a lot of personal power, there's a lot of energy that is being kind of grounded in you at this time. The only problematic card in this reading so far, I feel, is the Moon. And it's not problematic in and of itself. The Moon represents nature. It represents our natural attunement to something. However, I feel like in this position, what it does represent is a transgression. Something that's the pink elephant in the room. Something is hidden. You know, you're not necessarily seeing whatever it is that is, it's something that isn't necessarily set on holding you back, but because of jealousy, envy, because of pettiness, just someone dealing with their own issues, it's overflowed into your life, and you're still cleaning up the mess of that. But it's all about unconditional love. Look at this. So far, the 4 elemental positions are higher arcana, right? So there is this kind of, it's kind of your time to move. Your time to make changes and improve on what you have. In the past, this is not the past, but this could be the past / what you were attracting. This is your descendant. We have the 3 of Cups. So you've attracted a lot of carefree attitudes, a lot of people who are just having fun to have fun. Maybe this looks like, you know, just, I don't know if you see crows, but they do have a tendency to like do that a lot, and a lot of like they can have peculiar ways, and there's peculiar attitudes and energy that they are doing for foreign reasons. Like, we don't really understand why they have the mechanics within the murder of crows, or like the group of crows. It's called a group of crows. We don't understand like their constructs or why they do the things they do, and they're such an evolved animal that in some way it's like higher reason that they're using for doing the things they do. So if you watch crows, their behavior is kind of strange because they have their own logic. They really do. They have their own way of doing things. And I feel like you're exposed to that energy at this time, or you have been exposed to that energy in the recent past, in which you have been exposed to people who in some way, their logic, it's not like narcissism and stuff. Narcissism is just the tip of the iceberg. This is like, and it's not necessarily negative either. This is just like a completely foreign way of looking at things. Their culture, their culture, or their the mechanics of what they do is so alien to you that it's very hard for you to not only understand it, because I think this isn't a question of tolerance or acceptance or peace, but like, how do you actually interact with this when your logic says to do things one way and they have a different way of doing things, right? What it does seem to me as though, however, is that this influence in your life has in some way been a distraction, because it's like when you're walking down the street and like crows are doing this. It's like it's a distraction. It's not necessarily bad in and of itself, but it takes you away from the things that you are doing. And it looks like from the other cards that you are in some way really in the middle of a pretty strong process of inner alignment. The IC line, which is at the bottom of the chart, right? The source energy. This is where the North Node is currently. We have a Knight of Coins. So I feel like you are, this is a beautiful card too. I love this deck. I've been on the fence about buying it for a long time. And when I got it, I was like, finally, yes. For a while, I didn't buy it because I thought you guys would think that I was like too morbid. But I just think it's phenomenal. And I don't think that those kinds of judgments are floating around on YouTube anymore, but there was a time when, you know, you would put anything out and people would be like, she devil, whatever. Anyway, so we have the Knight of Coins at the IC. What I think this is you. I think that this is you really building a foundation for yourself. So you see how this is incongruent with this energy of frivolous celebrating, or maybe not even frivolous celebrating, but there's a misalignment. This energy is having fun, being not too serious. They have the time to purge. They have the time to just kind of play around and be loud and whatever. The channeled message is annoying. But the Knight of Coins on the bottom is you and a very specific course of action. And we know the Knight of Coins is slow and methodical, so it's something that you've put considerable amount of time and effort into. So let's take a look at your MC, which is like the path forward. Okay, so I'm reading this in a slightly different, ooh, double threes. Where's the other three? No, 3 of Cups, 3 of Coins, and work. So the way forward is, isn't this beautiful? Applying your effort here, let me not ruin it. So the 3 of Coins is applying your effort forward, taking it forward. By the way, this isn't a photo, this is a painting. Isn't that crazy? Very, very beautiful cards. So the path forward is, you've started a foundation here, you know, with the Knight of Coins. And I feel like you've been working at it for quite a while. And I feel like you are now not only being appreciated, but you're applying yourself towards a certain outcome, towards some type of representation of that which you're crystallizing your concepts, you're manifesting. In other words, basically you had an idea, you've put effort behind it, and you're making it work and create something, and you're in the middle of that process right now. And so this could have thrown you off if you were at an ace, if you were in some way just beginning, but you're so well into this process that it's kind of like this is in your rear view mirror. You're really leaving it behind. It's going to be interesting to see how that changes for you over the next little while. Let's see the Ascendant card, 10 of Cups again. So I did a reading for you guys last time. It was a few days ago, and it was the 10 of Cups, and we're getting the 10 of Cups again. To me, what this represents is happiness and joy, and this is the ascending, the ascendant, which means that this is what is emerging in your life. Happiness, home, family, those greater virtues that you're working towards. Oftentimes in readings, we're looking for like a quick answer. Is he going to call me? Is he going to text me back? Or is she going to do that? You know, but anyway, the 10 of Cups, I feel like this is like a more meta-narrative reading, which means that the bigger thing that's emerging is happiness and joy and family. Don't get caught up in the details. These are all higher arcana things that are happening around yourself. All the elemental dignities are aligned with higher arcana cards. These are monumental times right before eclipses in January, and I feel like you should be proud to move forward in whatever you've been working on. Who cares whether anybody recognizes it? They don't really understand what you're about anyway. What you're about is this, the 10 of Cups. You're not after some 3 of Cups, you know? They've only offered you 3 of Cups, but what you're going to get is the 10 of Cups. You're going to get the whole, you know, like the whole meal. You're going to get the full deal instead of just some rudimentary, you know, celebrating, which is not, they're in a stage of, I'm not picking on them. They're at a stage in their life where that's necessary, but you deserve more. You deserve unconditional love. And I think most adult people at some point come to terms with that, come to terms with just playing around and having fun, and dilly-dallying is just a small portion of what you want to accept and receive in your life. And that's not against anybody else. That's just a confirmation. Like I said, this is the only problematic card. This is someone who's close to you, who has personal issues, who is struggling, and who, if you're not careful with this energy, this will drag you into unnecessary darkness, you know? By the way, the raven who stole the sun, but this is the moon. There's a story in coastal First Nations. I don't know if I can say it, but look up the raven that stole the sun. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. There's some rules around people sharing it, so I don't know if it's my place to say anything, but I think you can definitely read it online. So you can Google the raven that stole the sun. I think it's Salish, Salish. That's the nation, the First Nation that it's associated with, the storyline. But this moon, I feel, isn't to do with that story. I don't know, that's a left field thing. I mean, it looks like the story, but so read it, it's good. But I think the point here is that there's a friend around who in some way, you can't apologize to other people for your process, where you are with things, but people will never fully outright say, I'm jealous of you, or I don't feel so good, you know, around you about myself because you're doing the most and my stuff's not working out the way. A lot of people, there are people out there who will have even negative intentions, you know, and ill will towards you, or begrudge you, or whatever else. And I feel like you need to be very cautious with this energy. Whenever you're in a really good alignment, there's stuff that comes up as a byproduct of that, because everybody at some point, a lot of people want to achieve a lot in life, and people have all ways of coping. Not everybody's fully healed. Most of us aren't fully healed, and so you just don't judge the person, judge the behavior, right? You're almost there. Just don't become victim, and don't be naive either. Don't be so full of unconditional love that you think that you can't be taken off of your pedestal of feeling alive and feeling good. That was Freudian. Feeling alive and feeling good. Be happy for yourself, but also be careful. Be tentative with how you share it with people around you. You know who this person is. It's a Judas. You know, Judas energy. So be careful with that energy. You're going for the 10 of Cups. This is a multi-day pick, and I feel like it's a very powerful message. I feel like you're coming into completion about some things as you close out the past and really find peace with the past. So why don't we pick a card? So maybe you thought about Bobby, Andy, and Scott, right? Like, so let me think about who's who in my life. Or maybe a situation, and 3 bonus messages, and that's care of Amy, the Scorpio, who told me to pick some cards from Klimt. Okay? Okay, ready? So we have the 7 of Swords. So if you chose this one, there's probably a lack of knowing what to do about a situation. This is actually a very hopeful card if you have in some way come into conflict with someone. That probably means that they don't know what to do about the situation, but I think that it's like they don't know what to do about the situation. It's not beyond that. They're just feeling helpless. Hopefully that time will pass. This can also mean that someone feels at a loss for things. And I feel like we can only send this person in this situation good energy. So you guys can all throw good energy at this card, and hopefully collectively we can change the flow of the energy for the people that are involved in this situation, right? So beautiful message. Okay, good choice, Scorpio. There you go. Okay, so now we have number 2. Okay. So for number 2, we've got the moon. Notice, moon, So uneasy feelings, hidden motives. There could be a Pisces involved in the situation. But there's also a desire. When I started reading the Lenormand more, the moon in the Lenormand is all about popularity and prowess. And if you've been watching the Pisces readings, Pisces is on a big glow up for 2019. It's really like Pisces is like written in the stars right now. It's a very special time. We haven't seen this energy for Pisces in quite some time. It's very healing. It's trining the North Node. It's Pisces. It's a good time to be a Pisces, and it's good for everybody who's around a Pisces. So I feel like for this energy, there's this, yes, there's maybe some hidden secrets or maybe some miscommunication, but I feel like there is like mystical wonderfulness and glory, and like think of like stars sparkling in the sky and the moon just kind of hovering there and standing underneath it in quiet, right? So it's wonder is the word that I'm looking for, like quiet wonder underneath the underneath the stars, right? So it's a peacefulness too. Life is both good and bad. Pisces, I often argue, is paradoxical. It's a paradoxical sign. It's good and bad. And so I feel like this is holding space for both experiences together, but in a peaceful way, without any kind of hatred or animosity. Okay? So that's number 2. This can use some Reiki as well, or some positive energies from anybody who wants to throw at it. But I think this has to do more with, like, this is very etheric energy, right? It's very ethereal, and I think it's very peaceful. So just I don't know how much this one needs. This one needs like mothering. This one needs consoling. This one needs care and encouragement and understanding at this time. So this one really needs your guys' positive energy. I think this one's kind of okay on its own. And then number 3, it's like my 3 little children. Let's see. So number 3, we have, if you chose number 3, the Queen of Chalices, a Pisces, a Cancer, or Scorpio. So there is deeply emotional feelings about a situation as well. I feel as though there is, sorry, I'm just thinking for a minute. There's someone, I feel as though there's someone or something within a situation who's assessing the situation from an emotional place. She's deciding, or he's deciding, whether to act or whether to pull back on a situation. I feel as though there is a little bit of judgy energy here. Again, notice the moon, which is ruled by Pisces, and in astrology the moon is Cancer. So there's this judgy, hoity-toity, uppity attitude that's coming from this card. It's almost like you don't want this energy around you, because no matter what you do, that energy is going to try to make it like itself. It's not narcissistic in an evil way, but it's narcissistic in the sense of being really high up on themselves and very into their own process and energy, which gives very little room emotionally for other people to have their own expression, have their own thing. So you almost, the energy here is there's deliberation about whether or not to be involved in a situation, whether or not to get involved and interject. But from your perspective, or from the person who's watching, I feel like you don't want this. You're like, no thanks. Okay, you can have your opinion. There you go. There you go. You have fun over here. That's what I want to kind of set to this energy. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure to like and comment. If somebody wants to leave time caps for the pick a card, I know it's kind of abstract and kind of silly, but we had fun tonight. Thank you for being here, and I hope you guys are enjoying this video in the morning. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Hi guys, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. We're going to read for this sign today. You guys know what sign it is, but I don't. And we're reading for the North Node in Cancer and South Node in Capricorn. Before we begin, the North Node represents the path of where we are going spiritually, so you don't ever have to actually get there, but that's generally where your focus will be during a given time period. And the South Node represents your karmic past, including your past lives. Now, if you don't believe in past lives, that's okay. It just represents the storylines of your family and heritage as well. Okay? The North Node moved into Cancer in November, mid-November 2018, and will stay there until May 2025. And Capricorn South Node moved in. The South Node moved into Capricorn at the same time. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to pick a card from the Spirit Animal deck by Colette Baron Reid. It's one of my favorite decks of the year. I really, really enjoy it. I purchased this deck myself, totally not sponsored. I'm just saying how it is. It's a gorgeous printing and really, really pretty animals. I love the little messages at the bottom. They really help me read. Dream the world into being, the lizard spirit. A magical time for you. I'm going to have to take a look at what sign it is first of all. So it looks like this is for Taurus. Hey Taurus, this is my Taurus crew. Hey, it's a party whenever we're reading for Taurus for the next year or so, because you guys are going to have so many amazing readings. Maybe through the winter, as I told you already, it's going to be a little bit less than stellar. It's not going to necessarily be as great as you had hoped, but I feel like once the winter's over and we're into the spring, Taurus, things are going to go much more your way. So I do have the moving chart. You just saw Mars move into Aries for January 1st, and the moon is here in Capricorn where the South Node is. So the South Node is that point of karma, or the point of where you are coming from, and the North Node is where you're going, Taurus. And so we're going to read for that today. As you can see, there's not many transits around the North Node, so we want to pay attention to when the moon is conjunct the North Node, or when some of the inner planets start moving in towards the North Node in order to make our dreams come true. I'll talk to you guys about the North Node in a minute, but let's start with the South Node. So what you are going through is a South Node alignment with your MC line, which means that as you progress forward, in order to progress forward, you have to in some way in your life, in your practical life, you have to in some way get in touch with your source energy from where you've come from, or who you are, or where you were as a child, or even more like past lives or family history. So family history becomes very important to you at this time, and kind of realization of where things come from and what their source energy is. So when we tap into our first memories, right? When we tap into our source first memories, which is also here, the North Node with the IC, that's when we had the most amount of dreams, imaginary friends. Our ability to understand the spirit world was much greater. That separation was much less prominent than it is now. And so I feel like this is a year in which, especially in the first few months of the year, you will have very prominent experiences. In fact, compared to other signs who have this transit, every year and a half another sign has this transit, you are having a more prominent transit this year because Pluto and Saturn are here. So just as a recap, Saturn is the karma that you've built up in your life, whether you've been a good person, whether you've been a bad person, whatever needs to change in your life, that's directed by Saturn. Pluto, on the other hand, is universal karma. you have very little. It's a scale. It's like a sand in a drop of sand on the beach, right? A drop of water in the ocean. That's what I was thinking of. So essentially you do have an influence on Pluto, but it's so scaled that it does not actually resonate. It's a collective planet, collective consciousness, but it's karma. So what you will experience with Pluto, especially in concentrations like this, is very unique experiences that you don't really own, but yet you do, if that makes sense. So things will come into your life that won't be a byproduct of your actions. It's not going to be a caused by karmic experiences from past lives. It's going to be something from the gelatinous blob that is our collective consciousness. And then there's the South Node, which is our past lives. So you have the trifecta of karmic energy in this area of the ninth house. You are probably more likely than any other sign to derive and understand new ideas, very big ideas about the world. You could bring forward new ways of doing things, new ways of looking at things for yourself and also for others. So it's a very, very beautiful transit if you are interested in being a person of the world or for the world. So for this South Node transit, I'm using the Klimt Tarot because you guys know I like it so much. I'm going to pick 4 cards and tell you what to expect over the next 16 months. So your first card is the 8 of Pentacles. Cool. And then we have the Queen of Wands. So the 8 of Pentacles is Sun in Virgo. I have to say that because I'm a Virgo every time. I'm like stuck to it. And the Queen of Wands is a Sag, Leo, or Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I feel like around work you may have had a key relationship with either a man or a woman who has prominent fire aspects in their chart, or they are a person of spirit. They're a person who has a lot of vitality, is very upbeat, bright and light, someone who tends to enjoy a good time and tends to try to have fun wherever they go and bring everybody in on the action. This may have inspired you to go in this, to really take a look at how you think. And after meeting this person, it may have been for a brief time. I sense it's a brief time that you knew them. You start looking at the world a different place and surmising different opinions about the world or different interpretations. I want to pause the chart here because I'll explain in just a minute, but this is going to be a transit in which you are called upon a lot to let go of all old ways of looking at things. That will happen through inspiration, and then also happen through circumstances in which you're really pushed to relinquish old antiquated ideas. And you're not doing it just for yourself. It's not like you're the one who's like the problem. This is for everybody around you. This is to confront ideas around you that are antiquated as well. So, but in some way you're meant to bring light into the world, which is the Queen of Wands. You're meant to bring happiness and joy to the people around you. And I feel like this is a very stable and continual work relationship that you may find evolve in your life. This is a commitment that you may be facing in your personal life, or one that you have been struggling to create and to maintain. And I feel like with the South Node transit, you're going to be unpacking the nature of that commitment. And this person that you're wanting to commit to or have been committing to is very effervescent. They're beautiful, they're fun, they're just lovely. And so for whatever reason, I feel like there has been some deep kind of karmic, obstacles and even timing. So, you know, you both want to be together, but the timing is terrible and you both have to work such hours that you can't. And you've been not slaving away, but you have been diligently working away to try to come together with this person. Here is the next message. We have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so some kind of communication that needs to happen. For some of you, this can actually mean writing some very important literature. The next message is the Knave of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Sun, Moon, or Rising, a new direction, a new form of yourself. I think that I sense this mentorship piece here as well. So this person could be significantly older than you. They could be a man or a woman, and you could be turning to them to kind of mentor you and teach you. If you're in school, you might meet a teacher who really blows your mind and who you want to kind of follow around and take inspiration from. From all this, the more that you step into this energy, the more that you entertain it, the more you will draw your own path and understand your own path forward, and then carve it out for the future. So it's very, very exciting sort of energy. Now with the South Node, I stopped the chart here in June just so you can see this transit, because this is only going to happen one time a year, of course, every single time the Sun enters into Cancer, right? And then Venus and Mars just happen to be around the same space as the Sun and Mercury. But through this transit, this is going to be a window of opportunity to push towards your Dharma, which is the North Node. And so Dharma represents your spiritual way forward, the way to progress. But people always get caught up on trying to get there rather than just enjoy the process. So know, with this type of reading and this kind of transit, you don't actually have to get anywhere. You can just stay here happy as a clam, unpacking your karma for the whole year and a half. However, your consciousness is going to be directed towards the North Node, and that is of the third house: communication, brothers and sisters, short distance travel, and also kind of the idea of putting your own word to things. So if you are hitting upon some big ideas that are blowing your mind and you are thinking about communicating it to others, I feel like with the North Node transit in the third house, you're going to find a real conduit or a real vehicle to communicate it through. You'll find certain ways to speak your mind, to communicate what you want and bring it forward. The golden moment for you in terms of this transit is really maybe early June, late May until July, early August. That's when all the inner planets are transiting here through this area of your chart, and that will bring more attention and more power to your third house. This is also the house through which you can manifest, right? The third house of communication that rules logos, which is the word. And so through the word, you can manifest whatever it is that you are coming into awareness of, be it your own personal development, something that is karmic, or even something to do with the collective. So it's a very, very powerful set of transits in June and July. And in July, just a heads up, we're going to have an eclipse in Cancer, as well as Mercury retrograde in Cancer as well. And so that is going to happen right through the month of July. The eclipse is happening. It's a solar eclipse on July 2nd in Cancer. And so something new could be coming in as a byproduct of everything that you are unpacking. So Taurus, basically get into the energy as deep as you can. Get as much out of it as you can. If you have opportunities to travel, they may be spirit journeys, you know, a spirit quest or something. I can't tell you to go because that's wrapping up my karma with yours, but you may have some very, very strong inclinations over the next year and a half to travel. Let's take a look at 4 cards for the North Node to give us some clarity. And I'm using the Bianco Nero Tarot. I chose this deck because it's black and white, so it gives you some kind of outline and it lets you fill in the colors yourself. So your first card is the 10 of Cups. Okay, Taurus. So communicating through happiness, I think you're attaining a higher level of joy. I feel like you are using this person as a blueprint for what you want to create for yourself in your life. I feel like there could be a separation between you and this person. Either it's not an appropriate relationship, it just isn't that type of relationship, but you really are influenced or inspired by this person's charisma, by this person's charm and energy. And so in some way, there is this kind of inspiration that you're taking to create something for yourself. The next message is the Queen of Wands. Again, Sag, Leo, or Aries. I didn't see the card. So it's funny. It looks like maybe you will be taking inspiration from this person and creating it in your life somewhere, or finding a perfect partner. This can also represent a sibling, and it can represent a man. So if you date men, then this would be a man for you. It's a romantic interest. And then you have the Five of Swords. You may find that it's overwhelming at times to juggle so much energy. You might feel as though it's a bit much at times, and there's the juggling card, the Two of Pentacles. So carefully, you need to slow down your roll there, especially in the latter part of the year. The year is divided into two sides. There's the eclipse in January in Capricorn, which is in your 9th house. Then there's the eclipse on July 2nd in Cancer. There's also going to be a full moon eclipse in July on the 16th in Capricorn. And then finally on the 26th of December, there's going to be another solar eclipse in Capricorn. So the year is divided in the first half to July, and then the second half between July and December. And what you'll find is that you are going to unpack some energy in the first part of the year and then address it in the latter part of the year. And I think that this is representing more that second part of the year, in which you're trying to figure out how to, maybe you've created something, maybe you've created a relationship. Heck, Taurus, this could be you. This could also be you in a workplace situation where you kind of craft out a new personality for yourself, and you're like, oh, this is me being a Queen of Wands, and you try to bring that in to your interpersonal relationships. Either way, whether it's an external relationship or whether this is an aspect of yourself, I feel like you're going to struggle a little bit. And that's fine, because you're just learning the ropes. So basically, fake it till you make it. And I feel like the inspiration is not to be shied away from. You have really wonderful transits to make it work. However, I do feel like there will be little mishaps. It's like going to a new school, and I had a client who I was speaking with who told me that she had moved to a new place, and she said it so eloquently. I don't think I can repeat it properly, but she said that basically she showed up in this new place, and she automatically offended the people at the beginning, the first people she met. And that's what happens. You don't know the lay of the land, and you're trying to keep up with everyone, and obviously the first thing that happens is that you kind of step on some toes and bruise some egos. So I feel like this is kind of the same energy, where you're kind of stepping into a new version of you, and it's going to take some time to learn the ropes, but after a little while, I think that will really gel well together. So I think you're taking a new course of action in terms of who you are as a person overall, not just not just in one situation, or possibly creating for yourself a new relationship, one that you probably never allowed yourself to have before. So maybe in travel, you meet somebody who inspires you, and you're like, yeah, I could date somebody like this at home. And so you go home, and then you find someone who's kind of like the person who you gained inspiration from. Okay? And look what jumps up here. So this is the Prince of Wands. This is going to be for the extended, which I'm going to do on Vimeo. I'm putting all the extended for this project into the Timeless Karma that I started in September. So that's located in the About section below. And so there you will get an opportunity to watch all those videos. Okay, so let's take a moment and see. Oh, we have the King of Swords jump out, and the King of Cups. Wow. Okay, Taurus, lots of different energies. The Queen of Cups at the bottom. So it's really anyone who has been coming up strongly for you is going to really radiate in your life. Let's take a look at your cards. Okay, so we have 6 cards, and I'm going to read them, as I said, on Vimeo. It's in the Timeless Karma package. If you do get the whole package, there are already other videos from September there, but they're timeless, so you can watch them. And they all unpack ideas of karma, and this is why I put these videos in there as well, because I think that this is essentially a karmic reading to kind of steer you in the right path for the next 16 months. Taurus, thank you guys so much for your help and support. I really appreciate that you turn out for me in the way that you do, and make sure to comment and like the video. Thank you. Bye. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. I'm super excited to be here with you guys, and I'm gonna do this reading for you for November 21st. So I'm bringing back the dailies as usual. You know, I've been just busy doing the other videos, and so whenever I get overwhelmed with other videos, you guys don't want to see so much stuff either. I know some of you guys do, but we got to keep it in check. If you guys want 2019, so we can't have dailies and vice versa. Anyway, so yeah, so here we go. Here we are. Here it be. And I pulled some cards for you guys. This is that clarifier spread that you saw with the North Node, South Node reading. I forgot kind of about it, and I just kind of really like it. So, hey girl, hey, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so it actually needs a couple more cards here. One more, and like this. Now we're talking. So what I'm doing is kind of dividing the wheel. Today you guys aren't going to see the wheel in the chart, but in other days you will. So hopefully this won't take too long. And so we're talking about the last day of Scorpio season. So hey girl, hey. Let's take a look at your core card. We have lightning. This is Isis herself coming straight down to kind of clarify, to break things apart. Miracles in love are possible this day. I feel as though some kind of blessing and catharsis. Listen, yo, okay, so hold on. Let's see this. This is like I don't even want to show it because it's embarrassing, but I have this like stash of incense, and I have the Isis incense. And when I read this card for the first time, I just got these cards today. It's the Sacred Power reading cards, and I just got these cards, man, and I was reading exactly this card. I pulled it for myself, so it pulls twice. It means love, breakthroughs, and opportunities. Things that weren't working are going to work out now. So hey girl, hey. If this is the last day of Scorpio season, let's celebrate. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Ooh, I have the Isis incense. That's what I'm pulling out. And I know it's haphazard, but now I can't stop the video because, you know, I'm going to, because we got this come through, right? So you want to recognize. Okay, so let's see. All right. And so, okay, so the lightning representation of Isis, yes. And so this means that, you know, total transformation for the better, and she's a savior. In this incense is the Isis incense. I break them in half. I've shown you before because I just don't like the heavy hit. A little bit of light incense always does the trick for me. Anyway, so yeah, so with this incense, we're talking about love, and if you want to kind of set your intentions for your love life or whatever you want to change in your life. Isis is particularly good for women, but justice for all people, you know, big and small. And so this is kind of a clarifier. So the spot between Scorpio and Sagittarius in sidereal is actually Ophiuchus, which is the 13th sign. But this is the part where the phoenix rises. So hey girl, hey, let's rise up. And also the other really important thing, the thing that's motivating me to post this, is that Jupiter and the Sun are in conjunction, which is the most lucky week of the year. Hey girl, hey. The next conjunction happens in December 2019, so you better use it. You know, I love all the people who I'm in touch with, the people who I'm not in touch with. I wish you all well. And for everybody involved, I just wish you the best. I hope you have an amazing year. It's one of those monumental portal days, so I hope we use this daily energy to just kind of break through, and I'm happy to be back. So maybe today's reading is going to be a little bit deeper because you know, I don't have a way to show you the chart, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. But besides that, we're going to have fun, okay? So Isis, promising great things. The incense is flowing onto me and into the camera, which is fine because we don't have autofocus on, so we're good. Anyway, so whatever's been going on, I feel as though there is catharsis and a total release of any kind of suppression that you've faced. I feel as though you feel, you know, elation, happiness, joy. There's also a grand trine between Chiron, the north node, and the sun, as well as Jupiter. That's a double grand trine. That's that triangle thing. So like this, Illuminati. So this actually means manifestation. So you can do this. There we go. Maybe at the end we'll do a little bit of Reiki too, to kind of get things going. Oh no, is it a bad omen that the incense went out? Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Let's hook it up. Okay, so here we go. For those of you guys who don't like my pitter patter chitter chatter, sorry. Okay, so citrine point right in the middle. I'm so proud of this bad boy. It's by far my favorite crystal at this time. And and this is hiddenite. Okay, so this is like kunzite, which is universal love principle. So let's just stick it on Isis as our dedication to her. Anyway, so hey girl, hey. And then I have something else. Ferro cylinders. Okay, so we're gonna set them here and here. Okay, so boom, power reading, manifestation time, just like this. I'm not kidding, I'm just being like jovial. So yeah, hey, so whatever you need, you got it. Whatever you want, you got it. There we go, let's hook you up. I don't know, I filmed another secret video. I don't know if I'll post it. So a lot of aspects today. I'm just reading through some of the summaries just to see what's good. The Chiron in Pisces, North Node, and the Sun. This is a really good day of healing. And so maybe, you know how I said my piece to everyone involved, here, there, everywhere. I think you should do the same at some point from your heart center. So in some way, just, I guess this whole video is my message to the world, or my message to the universe and to everybody who's involved. I wish them well. I wish them peace and good transformations. Also, I'm just looking at the asteroid aspects. Jupiter is with Atlantis. Hey girl, hey. So a new form emerging, very, very kind of in line with Isis energy. New form emerging, transformation, and progress. What else can we see? That's it. Well, Proserpina is with the South Node and Pluto. That's fun. So Proserpina is the counterpart of Persephone, and so in the South Node, she's kind of dwelling out the thing. The thing about Persephone is, though, that people don't know is that she kind of became a badass, right? Like she wasn't like just some, you know, captured princess. And at the end of the stories, like the latter stories of her life, were all about co-rulership in Hades. It wasn't necessarily about, you know, being a captor. She fell into her role and it suited her well. So I'll say this, Proserpina, maybe not such a bad thing after all, finding our inner goddess and connecting with Isis, and asking her for her guidance and protection and whatever else we need. And that's not against anyone or anything, but that's really sitting within our heart to understand that which we need and bringing it forward into manifestation. Okay, so let's see your first message. We have the Justice card. Okay, so this is where the sun is right now in Scorpio, if we're using Aries as rising, which I do. And then Venus is up here, Jupiter's here also, conjunct. What did I say? Jupiter's conjunct? I don't remember anymore. Something fancy. Atlantis. Oh yeah, the mystery. So really trust the mystery today. Justice is the card of Libra. Something's really balancing out, and I feel like that's the energy here. I feel like all those problems, all the busybody, nervous energy, all the busybody and painful energy is eradicating and being freed up. A lot of energy has been poking around in there and really conflating and connecting with other energy that's poking around. So it's not necessarily like it is what it is, right? It's a pedantic energy that kinds of maybe eavesdropping or poking around from one energy, and then other energy is attracted into that dynamic. So if you've been dealing with this kind of what's the word I'm looking for, intrusive or overstepping boundaries kind of energy, busybody, you know, then some of that is being kind of completely phased out, almost like this. So some of the nervousness, and some of it has to do with paranoia. My Scorpio reading for the North Node, you guys will see it today or tomorrow. The Scorpio reading for the North Node got really deep into it. I suggest everybody watch it. It was wild. The Capricorn, the Scorpio, and the Cancer readings are just lit. I'll link them at the end of the video just so you guys can check them out when they're available tomorrow, yeah? Let's see the next message over the next couple days. I don't know how I'm going to post it. Seven of Wands. And somebody asked me about when I post and how I post. It's because of YouTube. I don't want to get into it, but that's how it's done. But I pick at random who goes first. It's never personal. Seven of Wands. Okay, so we're talking about this quadrant of the chart. There's nothing here. This is Virgo and Leo. And so this is actually Mars and Leo, the Seven of Wands. So sticking up for what you have, but maybe in a mindful, gentle way. And there's a release of stress and pressure in this area of your chart. And so I feel like this has a lot to do with your social relationships with others, leveling out, taking it easy. I feel as though your concerns have been heard, and I think that there's a neutralizing energy here that's coming straight at you, and this neutralizing energy is helping you to eradicate the little, it's almost, I don't know if you've ever kind of, I would say like more ancient or more folklore slash more rural European traditions. There's like little devils. There's like the big devils, and then there's the little devils with the pitchforks. They're like mischief creatures. And so I feel like this mischievousness has been around quite a bit with the Scorpio transit, and I feel like on this day there's this kind of no more noise, no more funk. Let's see this card. Oh yeah, I'm feeling the spread. So we have the Chariot here. This right here is where the moon is in Taurus today, and Juno, who's the asteroid, the wife of Jupiter, you know, the perfect wife, and then Uranus at 29 degrees Aries is here as well. And so what this represents is that there is this clear and decisive movement forward towards something that is practical, and I feel as though there's a crystal vision of which way to go and which way to set your sights. I feel as though if you are a Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, I feel as though you see the simple truth of all the evidence, of all the circumstances that has been happening, and I think that for some of you, you're breaking away and going a very clear direction. There's a resolution of your feelings. These energies can have to do with confounding feelings within your own heart, and this is the resolution therein of them. Here is the next message, and so this is the Hermit card up here. This is Lilith and Aquarius up here. So we're getting into that Capricorn Aquarius territory. So a little bit of feeling like maybe there's been so much noise that you just want to hide. This also represents Virgo. So there's been so much malicious energy. There's been so many malicious things being said, which is Lilith and Aquarius. There's been so many little pokey energy being said that I feel like a part of you wants to hide. In this feeling, there's this kind of resolution of also emotionally standing in emotionally standing in judgment of your actions. So if dipped on someone emotionally, then the consequence of this is Isis talking. I really feel it. So bear with me. But if you've emotionally passed on someone, they're probably on their way to find something else. They're really, really resolved in the energy, and they find their inner peace, which is essentially, I mean, the right path forward. If you're not able to, if there was, I feel as though there was a lack of gratitude, and there was a lack of it could be you, it could be the other person, but there could have been a lack of there could have been a lack of, how do you say this? There could have been a lack of gratitude, but also recognition of somebody's worth. So I bring this out once in a while, but today it's such a heart-centered reading, and I'm not sponsored, but this is the Wild Woman Medicine Show. If you guys get this, then please tell them that I recommended it, just so I get that connection with them. They're local to Canada, but I think that you can probably buy their stuff in the US. They have baths and they have balms, and this is the sweetgrass balm, and this is supposed to, it comes in a gelatin form like this, and you're supposed to put it over your heart center. So I'm doing that right now. I'm not going to show you my chest, but definitely, if you get this, give them a shout out. They have really nice products. I love this little tin. The first time I opened it, I couldn't open it, but now I really appreciate it. It goes on perfectly now. So this is for heart center opening. Apply to the heart chakra and make room for love. Beeswax, avocado oil, and the purest non-GMO organic therapeutic grade essential oil of sweetgrass and desert sage ash. Make room for new energy. So there you go. I'm doing it for you guys, so you guys can vicariously connect with that. So do you guys want to see the last cards? Let's go a little bit deeper. So this is your descending, this is your ascending, that's your MC, and that's your IC. So why don't we start with the descending? That's Libra, and that's just a standard chart, right, for everyone. 9 of Cups. So this is what you're attracting right now, which is wish fulfillment. So I feel as though this is the energy that is coming in. These are so beautiful, and so I feel like you're a magnet for good luck. And remember, Jupiter's up here, justice, Jupiter, fairness, and it's coming in very, very fast, lightning, remember? So I feel like you're a magnet for positive energy. At this time, really align well to the positive energy. Your IC line, which is where you've come from physically. We have the 10 of Coins, loyalty. Look at these roses, beautiful energy. So I feel as though a legacy of loyalty, of a good family relationships. Don't undermine what you have learned in the past, even if you've had bad situations with family. Reconcile them. It's good energy. You know, if you've had difficult moments with family, then please just try to pull from that as much positivity as you can. There are good lessons even in the darkest of places, and so it's all about your heart aligning with the right path. This is what's emerging, and so this is your ascendant. We have the 3 of Swords. So a heart's been broken. Boom. There we go, right? A heart's been broken. This is what's emerging. Facing the transgression, or not allowing things to in any way become suppressed or become hidden away. So look boldly and see what's going on. So this is a redirection. Redirection towards a path without looking forward. The hard truth. You've made your bed, now lie in it. This is what this card says, and this card says, just leave me alone. I've heard enough, and there's too much noise. There's too much, like, static noise around. I just want to be alone. So this is the broken heart. That is the outcome of all of this, and in some way it's actually working together well. In some way it's all coming together to reconcile all the other energy that has been happening around. Remember, this is manifesting the MC, the outcome. We have the Ace of Wands. So there's going to be a new awareness that emerges. Very powerful message. A new awareness emerges, lightning, and a new progress forward, a new passion, a new connection. There's a deeper understanding of just letting things be peaceful and at peace as well. And so I feel like this is the path forward. New passions, attention to new directions, and this isn't necessarily saying that there's going to be an end in a relationship. What it's actually, I think, saying is that you inside are reconciling all these aspects of yourself, and you're pouring them out, pouring forward, and you're allowing more positivity to enter your life so that you can in some way allow the fairness to come into your life, so you don't feel this trapped, because right now you feel like you really want to keep away from everyone and everything. Everyone and everything is a potential source of noise and unnecessary toil. I don't know how to reconcile these feelings. It's like, well, it was said and done, so let's accept it and move forward. I feel as though there's also already something else that is available to this energy, or this energy is already integrated a new path and moving forward really quickly. I feel as though this is going to be a very important card, and I don't mean to dwell in it, but this is the Ascendant. This is also where Chiron is, and it's like, well, when you feel the realization of what you're feeling, how are you going to respond to it? I think that's the answer as well. And the necessary truth, or the nervous part of this, is if there has been a conflict between you and another person, then how do you trust that they're going to decide in your favor? But you have the hands in some way kind of grasping together through the whole thing. It's a very powerful image, isn't it? So yeah, through all the pain, there's a choice to, like, to, I don't want to say, yeah, there's a choice to reconcile. So fine, you guys can have it. Enjoy yourselves. I'm just kidding. But I think that, yeah, new passion, you just have to find the new step forward. You have to find the new passion moving forward. This is probably the more initial, or the reactions that are going on. And then I feel like this has had to happen as well. There's this need to, this is where the North Node is in Cancer, in the 4th house. It's like there's this need to not validate yourself, but stand up for yourself and prove to yourself and possibly others, self-confidence issues. And yeah, respect, show yourself respect if no one else is showing it to you. And then the Justice card here, I feel like this is the weighing of the feather, but there's no heart here. Usually there's a heart. It's like who has the, not lightest heart, but like who has a light heart. It's like you have to make things pure in order for good things to come and transmutate. So I feel as though this is coming to terms with yourself. This is coming to terms with anybody who you're involved with. And I feel like choosing the right path forward. It's up to both people, or all people involved, but the source is loyalty and the future is a flame. So I feel like hopefully people will move forward in positive directions. So here, I always want to do this, but I always think that people are going to start calling me Illuminati. But the Illuminati symbol, right, it's manifestation. So it's pretty powerful symbol. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Should I do maybe 5 minutes of Reiki? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it up. Let me roll up my sleeves. No music, unfortunately. There's some changes on YouTube that are coming up, so I'm ex-naying the music, which sucks. But so just take the energy in with Reiki. We can do it this way. We can do it this way. And I hope that it brings you good luck. And yeah, Jupiter conjunct the sun, the big news of the day. All right, so I feel like this is enough. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm going to figure out what to call this. Maybe tell me what kind of Reiki you wanted the most for this. This is some kind of relationship healing slash acceptance and self-confidence, loyalty, and good foundation leading to a new passion and transmutation through very quick interjection. Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Let me know how you guys like this. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Hey Virgo, and welcome to 2019 horoscope spread. I'm super stoked to be here with you guys, and this is the same spread I did on Vimeo last year, and rather than giving you guys a preview, I'm just gonna do the spread in front of you guys. This year we have new technologies with the astrology of Virgo in the background. Please make sure to comment and like on the video, much appreciated. And I'm excited to be here to tell you guys what's in store for 2019. Also, I did a tarot card reading for you guys that will be out shortly, and it's going to be linked in the description box when it's ready. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Varush. Nice to meet you. Make sure to click that bell down by the subscribe button to get notified of my videos, okay? So let's take a look at your spread. So are you guys ready? Each of these houses, each card represents a house of your horoscope, right? Each area of your life. It also corresponds to a month. So January through December. So we're going to explain that one after the other. Okay, so we're going to start off with this card in the center. Make sure to comment and like, by the way. I forget to tell you guys stuff. And I will have a dedicated astrology video out soon when I get my computer. But for the time being, just please kind of keep this in mind. I'm going to show you this card first, and then you guys will, at the end of the video, I'll show you how I'm going to read for every single house of the zodiac on Vimeo. So for each of these, I'll do the same kind of clarifier that I do for this, and yeah, that's all, folks. So let's begin. So your center card for 2019 is the Art and Temperance card, an emphasis to do with bonding, with harmonizing things. My friend calls this the sacred union. So I'll go with that. It's a spiritual union between people. Water and fire, possibly. That's the combination. It also marks the house of Sagittarius. Your overall theme for the year is that of bringing together and harmonizing energy. The first house is the self. It governs the month of January. In January, we have 2 eclipses, one in Capricorn in your 5th house and one in Cancer in your 11th house. So actually, sorry, no, it's going to be in your 12th house at 0 degrees, right on the cusp of the 11th and the 12th house in Leo, 0 degrees Leo. Here we go. So you have the sun. Hey girl, hey, a sunny disposition, Virgo. Yeah, I've already done your tarot card reading, and you do look like you are brightening up this year. This is a year in which things will be like more bubbly, more fun. You will be more fun. January will be fun. Uranus moves direct in the 8th house and leaves the 8th house for 82 years. Finally, and now moves into your 9th house. So you know the good stuff is coming, and I'll explain more in the astrology video. As I said, also in the tarot, I go into this quite a bit, and if you want clarity, Vimeo down below, right? Here is the next message. We have the adjustment card. So this is the 2nd house, and it governs February as well as your financial status. Key decisions that will balance out your finances. You're really harmonizing things together, again, bringing things of worth into the same kind of framework. Not much going on in February. However, you are we are all overcoming all the transits in January. It's a lot. Two eclipses. That's a lot in a month. And so actually eclipses come in 2s or 3s anyway, so usually in 2s. But anyway, so the point is that you are going to have that in January. So in February you get to chill out, harmonize, get on stable footing. This is progress. This is like, you know, you've emphasized one thing and now you're kind of balancing it out. Maybe you've been saving money, now it's time to use it. Or maybe you have been using your money and now it's time to save. So you're bringing things into balance. Libra people may be important. The third house is your identity, and we have the Hermit card. Okay, so this is Virgo. This is your sense of identity. This is you moving forward. This is the month of March. In March, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Pisces, which is literally over here, the 7th house of partnership. Hard time communicating with partners in March. However, overall, you are speaking through your own voice, and that came through really strong in your tarot card reading. Speaking through your own voice, your own identity, you're calling things as they are. You're expecting life to be a certain way, and life kind of follows suit to your expectations. The 4th house is family, and it represents the month of April. In April, there are retrogrades, 3 retrogrades, one in Sagittarius, Jupiter. In this house, actually, will go retrograde for 5 months, and then Pluto and Saturn will go retrograde in your 5th house of romance. Now, this is going to be a time that begins on the 10th of April, in which family dynamics get really resolved, and you've got the Star card, which is the card of soulmates. This is also the card of Aquarius. I feel as though key events will happen in your life, in this area of your house, that will harmonize and get you going on the right path with key individuals, key people. One of the main themes of 2019 for you in the tarot reading was definitely key connections with key people, and I feel like although that really emphasized friendship and romance over like lineal family connections, I think both are there, so you get to enjoy a little bit of both. And these 2 houses, the home and family house and the house of children and the ego, are kind of the most active houses of 2019. I'll show you the other ones and I'll explain what they are when we get to it, okay? So in April, expect a lot of change because there's a lot of this retrograde taking you back, asking you to kind of reassess things from the past, draw better conclusions. The entry of a soulmate is possible also for you this year. Okay, and then in the 5th house, this is the house of romance, and this is the most active house for you. It's ruled by Capricorn, and you have Saturn and Pluto and the South Node here. So this is what makes you super like masculine energy Virgo. You are very masculine energy this year. I feel as though you're pragmatic, you're setting goals for the future, you're excited about the future. Let's see your message. We have the Fool, a new beginning. And so I feel as though you have established for yourself the kind of structure you want, and now you are allowing to let the door in on the emotions side a bit. I think you've had people in your life, but they've been filler, to be honest. And I don't think you intended for them to be filler, but when all was said and done, they weren't fully present. They weren't fully emotionally present. They were absent. They had their own agendas, and they weren't connected to you on a heart-based level. And so that probably pushed you to establish more security for yourself, focus on the things that you could deal with. And I think that this year you're adding a lot of water, you're adding a lot of emotions into your life. This will start for you in the month of May. And in May we have no massive transits, just kind of a chill month. But I think that you are overall probably going to begin something in May. Remember, in July, again, 2 eclipses and a retrograde period. So that's going to be kind of intense. And for the time being, in terms of your romance, in terms of children, in terms of your passions, you're allowing yourself to do the things in your heart that you never allowed yourself to do before, which is great. In the 6th house, we have June. We also have day-to-day activities, health and fitness. And in June, we have Neptune retrograde. And here we have the moon. So health is going to be, not health. Health isn't an issue. What's an issue is your approach to health and and fitness. I feel like you are still not doing the things that you should be doing, and I think that you are hiding that a lot this year. And I feel like maybe this is the time to kind of clean out the closet and really be honest about what you're doing and what you're not doing. The only person that you're responsible to is yourself, well, and your family, your children. But I think that it's really, you need to do the proper math. You can't do funny math with help. Health is going to catch up with you. And I think that this card to me feels problematic. It feels like you are putting things into your body you shouldn't. And not necessarily like alcohol or something. I think that you're putting things into your body that you shouldn't, and you're hiding the fact that you are, and it's not, no, in the moment nobody's going to call you out, but the consequences are going to be such as they are, right? And the sun's come out to shine a light on this. So if I could give Reiki anywhere in this chart so far, it's here. It's like you're super aligned for every single part of your life, Virgo, but this you're hiding. This you're not being forthright about, and it's not a good thing. It's not going to lead to good things. So make sure you're really honest with yourself about your health and fitness. And so in July, the partnership, we have the universe card. Sorry, it got so bright in here. Hey girl, hey. I don't mind it, do you? It's pretty good. There we go. The sun wants to say hello and say hello to the universe. So partners come in from really far away. If a relationship has been long distance, it's going to come into focus. In July, we have the solar eclipse in Cancer, which is your 11th house of friendship, and we have a full moon eclipse in Capricorn, which is this 5th house. That's going to finish something up. The last remnants of what you were doing that was antiquated, that you didn't want in your life anymore, now you are going to in some way leave it behind, really dip on those old things. Let's see if I can fix it. Look at me go. Fixed it in 1 second. Okay, so I feel like this is a completion of design. This is where Lilith is for 10 months in 2019. Keep that in mind. This is the house of partners, romantic partners, business partners, and open enemies. So people who you know are up to no good, they're there and they're acting up. So make sure to keep that in mind. In July, we have also Mercury retrograde from the 7th through the 31st in the sign of Cancer, which is your friendship house. So you need to be cautious at that time. You know, be very cautious. This is a channeled message. I feel like you should be cautious with referrals from friends. Oh, you know, take her on, work with her. She's fabulous. She's my friend and da da da. No, Virgo. Don't welcome in energies that you don't know firsthand to be great. Like, unless you know them, don't take advice from friends. You know, it's a quick way to end a friendship, as well as get yourself into hot water, because what their perception is theirs and not yours, right? And just be very cautious with the energy, and Lilith in there isn't helping that, okay? So 8th house, August, we have Jupiter direct. That's going to be in your 4th house of family. That's going to be, now we're going to kind of move forward with family issues. And then also Uranus will go retrograde in your 10th house, in your 9th house of ideas. So that's going to give you some time to think about which directions you want to take and look back in the past and see what you can bring forward into the future with you. In August, this is also the house of endings, tax, and shared resources, the occult. And you have the new aeon, okay? So a new beginning is coming through for you. This is the card of Pluto. I feel as though I think that something that was meant to happen in Virgo's life all along will. And I think that this is beyond your choice making, beyond your decision making. It's something that's coming through that you will deal with, something that's always meant to be. You may have a new interest that's coming through for you. And what I mean is an interest in the metaphysics of things. A new kind of divination style that piques your interest, or maybe something new that comes in your life that's inspiring. This can also be marriage here. So for some of you, this is marriage, and that's confirmed by the tarot card reading that I did for you guys. So keep that in mind. Some of these things I'm referencing from the tarot reading, but they also resonate with the astrology in this spread, so it just kind of brings everything together. So I'm pointing it out for everybody who's watching all the stuff. And so in the ninth house is September. This is ideas. This is where Uranus is. This is, I think, these two houses is going to be something really special for you for the next 14 years. I know, 14 years. Can you believe that? Uranus is going right over your horizon there. So the next 2 decades of your life are going to be pretty lit. Here is your message you have. Again, the message. This is long distance travel here. And you have the Emperor. So, you know, international business, anyone? You know, maybe some kind of marriage from far away. Somebody's coming in from far away. This is also September when Saturn moves direct in this house. No, it moves direct in this house. This is when you actually figure out all the pieces, where they've gone and where to put them. So you're ready to say in September, oh, I want to take this direction. I've really dealt with everything that's going on. Now I know what direction I want to take. In the 10th house of career, this is October. Pluto direct here in the 5th house of passion, and Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, which is in your 3rd house of identity. So go easy on self-explanations and even analysis of the self. You'll have the urge to want to push forward. I would say take it back a bit until after November 20th when Mercury goes direct. Mercury's retrograde actually more in November than in October. It goes retrograde on the 31st of October and goes direct on the 20th of November, okay? In the 10th house, we have the Devil, career goals and aspirations. Don't get tunnel vision here. This came up in your tarot card reading. Do your passions. And in your tarot reading, there was this kind of emphasis that started with being very successful with your goals, being very successful with the things that you want to achieve, and emphasizing emotional connection. You're letting in emotions because your firmament, your foundation is so strong. But I think that there's this kind of tendency to cling on a little bit to your success. It's like there's this tendency to work yourself to become workaholic, you know, workaholism. You've been running on that hamster wheel for so long that now it's hard to get off, because there's always the next benchmark. There's the next milestone that you can reach, and you're positively motivated by every single one, and that can fall into a habit. Hidden habits, be careful, Virgo. You know, workaholism is definitely a shadow side of Virgo energy. So, and this is like, you know, love is knocking on your door and you're like, I can't, I'm busy. Girl, you know, take it easy with that. And especially in the month of October, that's going to be a big push for you, because you'll feel more passionate if I only do this. But be careful, like you have to pace yourself. 11th house, November, we have Neptune direct, you know. Neptune direct in your 7th house of partnership. Clarity of the relationship. So the time frame this year between, let's see, Neptune retrograde starts in June and goes direct in November 27th. So June 21st to November 27th, Neptune is retrograde in your partnership house. I feel like be very cautious in that time frame with Lilith here and business and partnerships, and falling to the feeling that you have a great, especially female partner, you know, in something that don't spill your beans. Don't tell everything to everyone, that kind of thing. I'm speaking for myself. I have Moon in the 3rd house in Aquarius, so you know I'm a chatty bird. But yeah, so you have this energy of you have the energy of you have the energy of confusion in this area, and that's bad with Lilith. It's only going to happen this year, and you don't want to, I just think you should stick on the straight and narrow between June 21st and November 21st. That 27th, that Neptune retrograde motion lasts 5 months. It's long, but it's really important because it's only going to happen once in, like, gosh, 20 years. And you don't want to cause for yourself a bunch of confusion, especially if you're hiding things. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're hiding bad things, but just I feel like you should be tentative with your, there, everybody has stuff, you know, that you're embarrassed about, so you don't tell anyone. It becomes a bigger problem until you realize that if you just told someone, you would have dealt with it and moved past it. But then before you know it, you're working 17-hour days and, you know, hey girl, hey. So yeah, moderation is key, and be really honest and do some meditative work with regard to moderation. Moderation is your antidote. You have such a beautiful spread, right? Such a beautiful spread, and this is the card of moderation. Hey, the Art Temperance card. 11th, the November, we have the Hanged Man, continuation of certain friendships. I told you guys in the tarot reading that you guys are getting better friends than ever before. The North Node is in this position throughout the year, so your focus is through your friends. Pivotal lessons on love from friends. I think that's what you're getting. And also a maintenance of certain friendships, continuation of certain friendships. Who have earned the right to be there, but maybe in some ways you feel like you've grown past them. But I think you have to humble yourself and appreciate that that energy is there, because that energy is actually helping you connect to a world of friendship, a world of other circumstances that are coming your way. In the 12th house, that's December, that's when Jupiter moves into your 5th house in Capricorn. There's a solar eclipse on the 26th of December in Capricorn in this area. Again, solar eclipse, something new. So the key points for new energy in this house are January 5th solar eclipse and December 26th solar eclipse. The lunar eclipse happened here on January 20th in your spirituality house. So a big kind of clearing of the way of something, a new spirituality emerges. And then we have a full moon lunar eclipse in the 11th house on July 16th. Oh, sorry, lunar eclipse here. So you will cut out something that's not helpful for you on the 16th of July. So a desire, so a habit, just don't let it go underground. Just make sure you really clear it out. That's a good point to clear this out, you know? Clear this energy, July 16th. And then the solar eclipse on the 2nd of July, which is happening here, new friends, new allies, new directions, okay? And then on the 26th of December, solar eclipse here in your 5th house, new beginnings of passion, healthier habits, new directions, putting it all in perspective. You're balancing out two things, pragmatics and emotions this year, so you're bringing both into balance. And in the 12th house spirituality, you have the Magician. So it's been with you all along this year, this ability to affect change on the world, Virgo. And I think that your only obstacle here is lack of moderation, overemphasizing one thing at the cost of everything else. So bring it back into balance, bring it back into moderation, take things slowly, allow things to come to you, allow the new beginnings to unfold. This is a wonderful year, you know, you start on the sun. I can safely say that now. So what I'm going to do is collect all these cards. All of these houses I'll clarify for you with a dedicated spread on Vimeo that's linked in the About section below. And if you guys enjoy this, then stick around. I'll show you how that looks right now with this core card, which is the Temperance card. So the Temperance at the center, we know what it means. Sorry, it's so bright. But Temperance card in the center is saying, you know, this is a year in which you are very much focused on bringing balance into your life. You're really being held accountable. You have such a, how do you say, a strong hand in the way of success. You have such a strong hand in the way of financial success and strength, personal strength, that you don't want to spoil it. Don't be wasteful. That moon card there felt like wastefulness. You've worked ahead. It's almost like, you know, working your ass off just to sit on your butt and wait. It's just no, you want to keep moving forward, but in a paced way now. And your focus is relationships this year. It is. And, you know, partnerships are going to teach you good lessons. There are going to be some hard lessons in there. A relationship is going to come to pass and evolve. And then there's friendships that are going to be your signposts and your points of learning. So relationships, filling your heart, family relationships on the mend and improving as well. So I feel like this year it's all about balance, maintaining the structural physical stuff, and then imbuing your life with with emotions and compassion, and a little bit less rational and a little bit more emotive energy. Here are 6 cards. This is the Tarot de Baleine, and I'm using this for the clarifiers. The 9 of Rods, the Wheel of Fortune, and you'll see this in each of the houses of the zodiac on the Vimeo. Okay, so we have some kind of change in fortune, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra coming in for that. And this could be a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. In this deck, it's a Sun in Scorpio. Somebody's coming in to help. Somebody's here to rally the troops, the energy in a positive way. I feel like this person reinforces your strength. This could be even the person in question. We have the Chariot card, overcoming the past. The victory over past relationships that were short-sighted. Those relationships in the past may have not been negative in and of themselves, but they were very much vested in self-interest of all the people involved. They weren't heart-based connections. They were friendships based on necessity and arrangement, right? And then we have the 10 of Pentacles, established family connections, and the 2 of Pentacles, slow progress that is being made. So you kind of gear down this year. You're going so fast to establish things, and then it's cruise control, but you still have to work. You still have to put in emphasis. And I think that there will be romance and family connections developing for you here. And so I think that that's all coming. Pacing yourself, Virgo, learning to pace yourself, making sure you pace yourself well. Let's take a look at your cards. We have the Lilies. And sorry about the quality. We have the Man, and then we have the Choices, and we have the Fox. So if they were bad cards, I would have scrapped it and started over, but you know, I don't want to start over. I feel as though a very shrewd man, I feel like this is a shrewd man who's coming into your life or coming back into your life, and I think you're making decisions about which way to go. I think that you know you have a lot on your on hand. You have a lot to work with, and so you're being very discerning about your energy. It's like, do I risk this for someone else, something else? Is this worth my energy? Is this worth risking all the things that I have worked so hard to establish? This is home and family, comfort, all those things. And I think that you should really be tentative towards partners. I feel like this person is super good. This is a really good energy. This is a really good energy. But I'm thinking about that Lilith. Like, I know me, because I'm like, oh, they're like my friend. You know, they're great. And then they're a rascal. So you want to be very, very careful with that kind of energy. The next message is learn from past mistakes, right? Learn from the past times in which you have given someone benefit of the doubt and they didn't deserve it. I don't know if Virgos do this, but like, other people work their trust up. As a Virgo, I think it's my Virgo nature, because it goes against the Scorpio side. It's like, I work my trust down. Like, I give people a lot of trust, and then when they fail it, if they fail it, then I withdraw it piece by piece. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have an opinion on that. Okay, so let's see your message. So this is your positive affirmation. I accept all that I have created for myself. I am divine, magnificent expression of life, and I deserve the very best. I accept miracles, I accept healing, I accept wholeness, and most of all, I accept myself. Hey girl, hey. So there you go. That's going to be the clarifier for each of the houses. This is the Thoth deck. This is the Dreaming Way Lenormand, the Tarot de Baleine, Trust Your Vibes cards, and the Louise Hay Positive Affirmations deck. Virgo, I hope you guys have a wonderful year. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.